Welcome
to the Legion's Lair.
I am Brad Jones, broder of Bjorngar.
I am Mike Casper, aka the Emir Caspar. What's up, Brad?
Mike, what is going on? I didn't mean to cut you off. You were like skeletons, and I hit countdown, and it it just went into it. I was like, oh my God. So yes, we are here. We have a awesome guest for you once again. We always have awesome guests for you. But this guy, he is exactly what I said. He is an awesome human being. We got the privilege to stand in line with this guest at MesquiteCon, and he was in front, in line, and I think he was getting a few things for himself, but he got a stack of stuff to go back and give to people who needed stuff for cost. So he's a great dude. So we can't wait to get him on here shortly. But before that, we have news, right, Mike? We always have news. We always have.
We do. We are just finishing up the summer of Cosmerium. And what does that mean, Brad? That means that there's 20% off at the retailers for Cosmic Legions, and there is a wave that is up for pre-order at Store Horseman. That is Oxcrew Book 2, The Harrow Zone. And it goes down this Sunday. This Sunday is your last chance to order or pre-order this wave. And I believe 11 o'clock-ish. Make sure you have your orders in before 11. Now, the Summer of Cosmerium, 20% off the approved retailers. I'm not sure when they're going to pull that. I suppose that will probably be pulled probably around the same time.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty much the end of this month. So
yeah,
I don't know. So I wouldn't wait until September 1st to get that 20% off Cosmic, because it might be too late. Well, let's see. What else do we have?
We have Mythic Meetup that is going to happen in Ohio, and I do believe you can give us more info on that.
Yes, Mythic Meetup. If you are around, adjacent to the area, I have been hearing, there are going to be a few, maybe at least a dozen people thinking about coming or more. But that is going to be Saturday, September 21st. We're going to do 1 to 6 p.m. I'm assuming it could go longer than that. We just had to put a date or a time in there. It's at Bluebird Lake. Her dad, obviously, this is the address, 873 Old Spring Road, Akron. I don't think that's actually the road, is it? Maybe it is. I thought it was called something else. I thought it was called Conestoga. I think it is called Conestoga, and then it turns into that road. But yes, if there's the address, we'll have signs out there how to get there and whatnot. It's a beautiful big pavilion. I don't know if she put. Okay, here's some pictures of the place. I guess we.
Awesome.
Those. So yes, it is going to be an outdoor event.
I have never heard of Bluebird Lake. This is sweet.
It's actually a private. It's a private-owned lake. Since her dad lives in this Copley area, he's able to rent this place out. So it is kid-friendly as well.
Nice.
Basketball courts, tennis courts, volleyball courts, different things to do, fields, obviously a lake. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. So come hang out with us. There's a dock out there you can swim to. As you can see, there's sand, there's beach over here. They have it where it's divided off in the lake is the shallow. You can pretty much walk this whole bottom area. Out here is where it gets deep. So yeah, that
very cool, man. Very cool.
So yeah, come out, let us know, or get in contact with me or Lauren. Probably Lauren, me. I'll go through to her. But we're gonna have a good time. So yeah, come on out. And if for some reason it rains,
we got a pavilion.
We have a pavilion, but we can find stuff to do. I mean, I don't know. We'll go over to the Dave and Buster's. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll take care of you. Look, Lauren's like Dave and Buster's. Oh, I thought you said so. Yeah, there's plenty of places to go and do. So check that out. Obviously, me and Mike are going to be doing a big giveaway. We got to get to 500 subscribers. I'll be doing a post here shortly.
Well, and the giveaway is going to be, I want to say 20 figures. Are we at 20?
Yes, we are up to 20 figures. At
20 figures, and these are all donated by yourself and myself. So it is going to be a massive giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Massive. I mean, we'll take any subscribers, but we need to get to 500 so Calazier can get himself a nice new ride. So Mike, did you get anything new? Anything exciting?
I did not. It has been quiet in the Lair 2 here. The Lair 2.0. I have got nothing since the skeletons came in the mail. What about you,
Mike? If you didn't see during the preview of our song, our intro song, you were showing your skeleton. I got something really cool yesterday that I've been planning. I have it on my flag. So this is on my flag. It's a gigantic. It's about, I don't know, 15 inches, 16 inches tall.
Is that to go along with like a Ghostbusters line?
Yes. So this is actually a NECA. This is actually a NECA Stay Puft from a few years back that I got. I got it because it was the biggest one that they have or that you can get that looks cool and mean. So he's on my flag, and I feel like he's scaled pretty well. As you can see, I have a shipwreck here.
He's sitting on the USS flag.
So he's sitting on the flag. And obviously, you know, the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 is coming out in the 3 3/4 scale, as well as the Ghostbusters in O-ring 3 3/4 scale, which I have pre-ordered. So they will be on my ship. Attacking evil. So that's why I got him. But we got to make some room on the ship. So that's what I got. That's where we're at, bud. That's what we're doing.
Well, awesome. Let's right now, before we get into our guests, let's preview next week, right here and now. Next week, we had a good response to our first guest prize wheel, where we bring on people that are in the feed. We bring them on by doing a prize wheel, and we'll pick like six or so different people to come on the show. But during that show, I also talked about tribute figures, Four Horsemen Studios tribute figures, and it seemed like that went well too. So we are doing this next week, and I am going to be talking about tribute figures again, but not Four Horsemen tribute figures, but Four Horsemen Motu tribute figures.
Sweet.
I'll be discussing those, giving you facts about those, and we will have a good time. So that is what we're looking at next week. The guest prize wheel.
Is it next 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Yeah, that's September 10th. 7 o'clock. I guess that will be episode 19, I do believe. If I'm correct?
Because this is 18, Brett.
Yes. Brett here is number 18. So yes, episode 19, Legion Slayer will be doing a spin the wheel guest appearances. So yeah, like Mike said, maybe we can get. Hopefully, I think last time we got 5 or 6. I want to say it was 5 or 6 at least 6. I think.
Yeah.
So we'll try to do that again. And it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always nice because the first time we did it, actually, we made those people real guests, a few of those. So if you're new, could have an opportunity to get on the show. Other than that, we have 13 people watching as of right now. And our first comment of the day goes to Jawaisakwe Echevarria. We are going to talk about Brett's photography. Yes, we are. We will. Jordan says, I hope so. Hey, we got Just Shelf It Van. Hey, there he is. That's him. I think that's him.
Who's that?
I think that's Brett right there.
Oh,
well,
nice.
Say, is it El Titty or is it El Tidy?
Oh, it's got to be Titty.
I would like to think, since it's me being Broder and my huge pauldrons, that it would be El Titty. But he could have his own reasonings, and that's fine. That's fine. We'll ask him. Just teasing.
You got
I can see Brett laughing in the back. You guys. I guess I'm the only one that can see that. But wait a minute. Whose birthday? Whose birthday? Happy birthday? Is it G's birthday? No, I don't think it's G's birthday, is it? I think it was G's birthday a couple days ago. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was.
Happy birthday, Nate Barch.
Yes, today is Nate Barch. So happy birthday, Nate. And your art.
Right behind me and right behind you is Nate Barch art.
What was that? Huh? Does anybody know what that is? Come on, in the comments. Tell me what that is.
Price is Right.
Oh,
sorry, dude. I love the Price is Right.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, and geez, watch a happy birthday cookie. It's always happy birthday cookie. That's right.
Yeah.
The dub. All right. So, are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready. You want to do the introductions, my friend?
Yes. This guy, we had to track him down. We had to get him in here. We had to pick his brain. He is the one, the only, Brett Stoddard.
Good evening. Two things. One, tidy. That is your one free pass. You don't get a second one.
It couldn't be what I wanted it to be.
We're the same age. You remember the Tidy Bowl man?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where it originated from. Take that for what you will. Elaborate in your own mind. It can go many different directions. Number two, you have a USS flag.
I do. I'm looking at it right now.
Fuck you. Oh, am I allowed to swear on this one?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Tidy.
Yeah. Well, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And this guy right here, he's just gonna sit.
Yeah.
Right
Oh
now.
yeah. How many rattlers did you back?
I just got the one. I'm not too. I'm not. One's fine.
I originally did three and then changed my mind and did one. It is a lot of room.
It's a lot of room. So I got one hiss.
Yeah.
So I was happy with my one hiss. I wish I would have got more when everybody was buying them.
I bought three, sold two.
Exactly. I was literally thinking about buying a couple because I go, eventually someone will want one and you can't get them and they're going to be.
And then I nabbed a second carded Coco from the Mickey Mouse one from Cookie at a show. He had it and I'm like, he gave me a good deal. I'm like, fuck it.
You know what? There's times where I do things and people be like, "You're a scalper," but there are times where like I hook people up like you wouldn't believe. I take losses. I take losses like you wouldn't believe, just to hook people up because I love to see people happy. So there's times where that's the way it is. And I noticed I got that feeling from you, Brett, and that was what's cool. And I think that's what drew me to you. I'm like, this guy's just. He's here to hook people up, man. He's,
last year at PowerCon, I packed every inch of my Grand Cherokee with cases of figures, and 90% of them weren't even for me.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we were in line this year at Mesquite Con, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get a couple Violent Nights, a couple this. My buddy wants this. I got this person who wants this. I got to get back, give him this and this. And I'm just like, oh, damn, you got a list of. But people gave you a list, and you were literally hooking them up, and it's almost like, hey, you were going there anyway.
Absolutely.
You're going to be there,
Yep.
And there's times where people don't have the opportunity to do those things.
And I'm in a good position. I can get to these places. I have the time available. I have vacation. I have the means to get to, that all those shows and spread the wealth.
Yeah, I came back from Legion's Con, and I had a guy. We were going to a meetup, and the guy's like, "Did you get one of those Valiant Nights?" And I'm like, and to be honest, I didn't grab a lot. I think I grabbed 3. And that, to me, I didn't think that was a lot, for it being as new as it was. And he's like, "Can I get one?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I go to the meetup, and he's like, "Well, what do I owe you?" And I go, $40. And he's like, "Really?" And then I go back home, and I'm like, they're on eBay for like 80, hundreds, But no, that was cool to see. He was like, "Really? Like you're giving it to me for cost?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like I was there. I grabbed it. Like I didn't even bring it home to make money. That's wasn't my intent at all. I brought it home for me. You want it? Here it is."
Yeah, it just makes you smile when you see that they're happy too, and
no doubt. And that's what the community's about.
It seems like the Valiant Knight and the new Skeleton Legion Builder 2, it seems like those obviously are previews for the Necronominus wave.
Oh yeah.
But not a lot of those were made, I don't think, on either one. So maybe they will re-release those, or maybe they'll just say, you know what?
Or it'll be in Reinforcements 3 or Reinforcements 4, or they'll do like they did in Reinforcements 2 and do a slight color tweak. Maybe we get a gold Valiant Knight, or a skeleton in a different color, a burned, charred body. I forget, was that Walter that gave me that idea? But yeah,
I like it.
But nice. We're getting the Valiant Knight and the Gideon and the Enoch and the Elijah and the Adalric and one of the ones in the Ashes, and we're getting that same skeleton in Maxilius. So it looks pretty on those, and the Valiant and the white skeleton's unique, but we're still getting more of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Brett, let's get into the question.
Oh, quick correction. Last name ends in T as in Tom, not D as in David.
Oh, well,
Stoddard.
It's common.
Oh, hold on here.
It is a common spelling.
Hold on here. Da, 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 da.
I used to say one of my ancestors got drunk one night and signed his name wrong, and that's why we're T and not D. But upon further review, the T's come from Scotland.
If people ever want to know how I do the interviews for the Legion's Lair, there it is. There's your name. I got it right, buddy.
Nope. You got the last name right and the first name wrong.
Oh,
yeah, 2 T's. 2 T's for a double dose of trouble, baby.
That absolutely disappoints me.
Hey, I get emails at work, and it's got my name right there in big letters. It's got my signature with my name again, and people will still say Bob, Bill. So I'm used to it. At least you got it close.
There we go. Now I got you. So the first question, my friend, what got you into adult action figure collecting, and how long have you been collecting?
Well, much like prostitution, I first did it for myself, then I did it to please others, and then I did it for the money. Wait. That's the wrong topic. That's photography.
No, it is.
as a kid, like a lot of us, some of my earliest memories were collecting things. For me, it was Lego. We were living in England at the time, and I had contracted meningitis, and my mom was buying Lego and bringing them to the hospital, and I was collecting all the Lego. I was collecting Mr. Min books and that. And then you fast forward a couple years, and Star Wars figures came out. And I couldn't get enough of the little 3 3/4 vintage Star Wars, and that occupied almost every bit of my money, my allowance, anything I could do to scrounge up money was to buy a 3 3/4 Kenner Star Wars kid. And right around that 80, 82 mark, like many of us, GI Joe started to invade, and after Star Wars basically ended for us, GI Joe just skyrocketed until I got to high school, and then it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll all throughout high school and into college. But so there was a period of dark ages, if you will, until about 2015. My father passed away. I lost my job. I moved across the country to get a new job, and I was living in a hotel, and I was bored, and I was wandering Walmart one night, and I found a Star Wars Lego ad app, and I looked at it, and I looked at it, and I said, "Fuck it," and I brought it back to the hotel and built that sucker in one night. And much like as a kid, I went all in on Lego. Move forward about 3-4 years, somebody starts telling me about Star Wars 6-inch Black Series. History's starting to repeat itself. Hard into the 6-inch Black Series. Oh, wait, there's classified series, G.I. Joe? Hard into the classified series, G.I. Joe. Am I going to go back into sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Probably not. I tell my kids, turn down the music. Drugs are now, medicine. Sex, well, yeah. But so that's how I got back into action figures, and coincidentally, I was hanging around with a lot of nerds in some Discord toy groups, and Purple. They had talking about this new thing coming out by the studio called Four Horsemen, and there was a teaser of what looked like it would be a Halloween scene in Sleepy Hollow to me, an outsider. And they were trying to guess what it was, and I was like, my first thought was The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I'm like, duh. And then the next morning, Head of Horseman was released, and they're just going gaga all over it. And I'm like, yeah, cool, yeah. Love the story, love the history. Don't need to start collecting another line. And it was not for me at the time. And then fast forward a couple more months, and by this time Legion's Con 22 had just passed. And I had a bunch of extra plunderlings that I was trying to get rid of. And I posted about them in a plunderlings group. And Brian Almeida reached out to me asking about possibly trading for the plunderlings and not buying them from me. And I'm like, well, what do you got? And he's like, well, got the Head of Horseman. I'm like, And he's like, well, I got this other 4-H stuff. And at the time, I was like, okay, whatever. And he shows me his skeleton. And he showed me Brother Mendedith.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Alias, and the Skeleton Soldier, and several others. And I'm like, skeleton. Those look like the TV shows and movies I watched as a little kid. Those look like the little ones I made out of toothpicks and paper when I was in middle school. They were just like, those are the D&D stuff that I played and loved all the time. I'm like, all right, fine. What the hell? I wanted these plunderlings gone. I needed the room. Skeleton, can't go wrong. And so the trade's in the works, and I had gone to a local toy store to try to offload some of my stuff, and I traded a Hot Toys 1/6 Mando and Grogu for 6 Legions because they were hanging on the peg right by the register. I'm like, you know what? I just traded for a bunch of this stuff. Why not? And it was 2 goblins, 2 orcs, and 2 of the skeleton Legions. And get them home, and I'm looking at them, and I'm doing things, and I'm just loving these things. And I'm telling all these toy nerds that I was in this group that I just love these things. And they're like, we told you, don't blame us for what happens in the next 6 months. I'm like, I promise I won't. Well, then I found out you can take them apart, like the Lego. like my little minifigs that I was as a kid. I would pop the arms off and put different ones, pop the legs apart. Giant Legos. And I'm like, uh-oh. And from that November of 22, it just, boom, off the rails. I was taking in everything I could. I was absorbing as much information. I joined the cabal. I just go full in like a lot of people do. And then I'm like doing more of this and finding out that, there's these shows they go to. I post about Zolcon. Anthony Halcyon reached out to me. People will just start, grabbing and being friendly and just talking. And so I show up at Zolcon at like 5:36 in the morning. Freezing cold day, just 20 degrees. And from that day forward, I found my people. And it was just, so from there, it's just been one wild ride.
So let me ask you this then, Brett. You found Legions, 4 Horsemen. Is that all you collect now, or the majority of what you collect, or are you just going all out on different lines?
So my main concentration is definitely Legions. I'll still collect the occasional Black Series when they throw me an OT bone, or something from Andor through the end of the first season of Mando. Give me any Mandalorians and I'll buy them. G.I. Joe, I have very strict rules. It's Series 1 from 82 to Series 6 and 87, because that's what I collected as a kid. Heavy on the Cobra side. Just got my Stinger the other day. Love it.
Yep.
Plunderlings, I love them. They release another wave, gonna get it. Beyond that, I have stuff here and there. Lots of Star Wars Lego still. I'll get a set here and there of that. But yeah, Legions is definitely consumed. Real estate, time, money, fun. It's just I can't imagine not having it in my life now.
Your story is not unlike almost everybody else's, where they get one in their hand and it's just downhill from there. They're collecting as much as they can get.
Yep.
Why do you, and I know you explained your story, but why do you think that is when you get one in hand?
I don't know, but beyond the quality, beyond the design, just it gives us playability. It really does, with the customizing, with the popping and swapping, and I think that's what we miss a lot in toys is playability and letting our imaginations go as we get older, and it just gives that outlet where you buy your G.I. Joe, you buy your Star Wars, you might pose them on a shelf, but how often do you take down a Star Wars display and just sit there and start? Yeah. I look at my G.I. Joes and I'm like, yeah. But then I'll take down 2 Legions and I'll start put them back up. So I think that's what they bring, as much as their design, the aesthetic, it's that playability that I think that we as adults, sometimes we lose our imagination along the way. And
True.
That's given me a lot of that back. Because my Legions collection is probably unlike anybody else's, and that's okay, because that's what they should be. Mine is more of a, what if Necronominus wins? And everybody is a skeleton. And I mean everybody.
Mike, I think
you're coming soon, Brad.
I'm doomed. I am doomed.
Doomed, baby.
Woo! I already knew I was going to be doomed. It's okay. See, I was hoping your name was El Titty and I would be your vote, and now I'm thinking it's not.
Oh, great. Now you just ruined my joke for the very end of the episode. Thanks.
Oh. No, go ahead. They'll forget it. We got time for that.
So with throwing my 2 cents in the question I just asked you, when I got the Skeleton Legion builder in my hand from the 1.0 wave.
Mhm.
And I'm just sitting there staring at it in package. I was like, oh my God, what am I looking at? This
That's
is the best action figure I've ever seen. And when
the
I took
one.
it out of the package, it did not disappoint. It even elevated it. By far the best action figures on the market today. And I don't think, and this is not putting down any of the independent lines. This is not putting down Hasbro, Mattel, or any of the other companies out there. But I do believe they're far above and beyond anything that has come out, especially for the price point.
Yeah. And again, I really firmly believe it has something to do with that playability, that imagination, that creativity that they really they foster it, they encourage it,
Yeah.
they push it.
No, you're right. I mean, even when I was a completionist, when I came into the line, I didn't pop and swap or want to do any custom heads really at all at first. It was just get that figure. I like it. I like the way it moves. I like the way it looks. I like the way it displays. That's just what I like.
But you were still playing with them.
Yeah, it wasn't until later going to Legion's cons and seeing the customized community and the capabilities got me even thinking of customizing in other lines. You know, like, hey, I'll take off this NECA head and put this head on this NECA body. You know, where I wouldn't even think that way because
boy, if only Hasbro would standardize a neck peg.
And you know what was it? Yeah, it was the Marvel Legends had the Build-A-Figures, and to really, I mean, that's basic. You know, you would buy 5 figures, get 5 different things, and you put them together, and that was kind of cool. And that, you know, I wish they would have had that when I was a kid because I'd be like, dude, I would have.
Oh, we would have been all over that.
Dude, I know. Every Build-A-Figure, I'd have been like, I need every Build-A-Figure. I would have too. Great marketing scheme but for kids, I would want them. I would want to play with them. So yeah, I could see where you're saying it. It definitely brings you in, and they have that. Where not a whole lot of people have that.
I mean, how many afternoons did you take your toys out into the backyard with your friends to bring theirs out? And you dam up the gutters to put a hose to make a little lake to float your damn boats down, and you know, you sandbox and building bunkers. And, those are the simple times, and I think part of the legions and playing with them is it's kind of cathartic too, kind of like sitting down and building a Lego set.
Yeah,
it's really good mental stimulation.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've often referred to Legions as the Lego of action figures.
Oh, 100%.
Of the 6-inch action.
Yeah, you said.
Brett, what was your 2023 was your first Legions Con, correct?
Yep.
What was your Mythic weekend like that year?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be a +1 to intern. Jordan Shear from Iowa brought me along. Shout out, Jordan. So I got to experience intern G-Con in person. You know, the whole thing. I'm an early riser, so I did the days of the shows. You know, I was down there at 1 o'clock in the morning with Raul and Joe and everybody that I see at all the shows. At, you know, 4 or 5 hours before the show opens, we're there. And it was, you know, I didn't really know what to expect, but I kind of had been prepped by reading all the stuff from the previous ones and all the people the journeys up into. But you know, in Legion's Con, you hear about it, and it's a multitude of different things. It's craft art fair. It's a toy show. It's a family reunion, and you really don't understand all 3 of those components until you've actually been there and just witnessed it from a distance as the newbie. You know, by the time I had gotten to Legion's Con, I'd been to enough shows that I had gotten over that initial new kid at school anxiety that I had at the very first one. You know, I was sitting, I was like, am I going to like this? Are they going to like me? Is that new? Or is this, you know, getting into something over my head? And by the time Legion's Con rolls around, it's like you're waiting for seeing those old friends and talking to them. Come for the toys, stay for Jordan's pickle fight. purple.
So we were honored to meet you at Legions Con 2023, but then fast forward to Mesquite Con 2024. That was a party also, wasn't it?
It really was, and Jesse and I actually started that party a little early. I got up at 3-something, and then I was at Jesse's at between 4 and 5. We're filling the back of the Jeep from stem to stern with everything that Wolf King had to drive it to Muskegon to set it up so that the Wolf King could have the whole retail presence at the show. And what a wonderful drive. It went by so fast, and talking to Jesse, just talk about a great person and just a pleasure to be around, such a positive person. It made the drive go by fast, and lucky to have him in my car, and always welcome to be in it for any of these road trips. And Mesquite-Con was like a miniature family reunion of one side's cousins that happens on the off 3 months of the major family reunion. It was, to me, I lump Mesquite-Con and Ishcon into together. You have the Southern family reunion and the Northern family reunion, or the big clan family reunion in Jersey in the fall. It's basically evenly spaced out, and it was like Curtis would say, it gave him just enough juice to get to the next one. And the small intimate settings, I got to talk to you guys more. I got to, know Curtis more. I got to really know Jesse and everybody. And, you just have random people you sit down at dinner, and by the end of the show, you know each other.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. What about Legions Con 2024? How excited are you for, Legions Con 2020?
Yeah. Well, Legions Con Purple 24 is actually going to be my 11th 4-H show this year.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So I'm following them around this year like I followed the Dead in the 90s.
Dude, it's like the Grateful Dead. You need like a Grateful Dead van, dude, with the little bears.
It's just a black Grand Cherokee now.
Let's get some. We need some colored Bodvar stickers.
Think of the old 70s.
They need to customize a Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to 24. Schmerbs, shout out Schmerber, is actually bringing me along as his +1 to intern. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to G-Con. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I know whatever it is, it's gonna end up coming home with me at some point. I'm looking forward to the art that people are going to be displaying and the customs. And shout out to all you custom makers. If you want to know how to fleece me out of my hard-earned money, skeleton heads, random ones, new ones, helmets to go over skeletons' heads. That's how you do it. So
to be honest, I didn't mean to actually put these skeleton crotches right between. They're just there.
Yes.
Well, what's funny is, look,
nothing but a good pelvis.
And this skeleton is my head.
Brad, I think we need to knight this man.
You know what? He's gonna get a double knight.
Shing! Is that hold on? I have never yet on the show seen a double knighting at the same time. This might be a little much. Or Brett,
I'm ready. I got big shoulders.
Double knighting because he could have get knighted when we first started about all his giving to all the communities. And now he's going to get the knight because he's one of those kick-ass guys that goes to all the shows. He's like a little groupie, and you love him. Sort of, there you go. They do the double knight. You get the double. And the look at that. And the twist. Oh, look at that. I did like a quadruple double axle. Just.
It was funny because when I was in Chicago at Kane County, I walk in and Joe Vespol looks at me, he's like, "You're here?"
Again. I know he's like, you.
11 Horseman shows this year you've been to.
I will be for Legion.
Will.
Legion's Con will be the 11th.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go back real quick. I need to go back because you were talking about how you went downstairs around 1 or 2 in the morning. I can remember specifically one night. I think it was Friday night, to be honest, because everybody wanted to get in line for that first Saturday show. Mm-hmm. And we were in the lobby, and I think it was late. It's like 1:30 or later.
You and Dennis.
And we're like, I don't remember who I was talking to. It might have even been Walter or somebody. And I said, is there anybody in line down there? Because it like zigzags. You kind of like got to go down a hallway, go down another hallway, go down a hall. You know, you kind of got to like do this to get to where you're going in. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. First we're like, I don't know.
Well, it's like every morning I got up, I would go down there and I would run into Dennis. He was on the tail end and I was on the starting end. And, shout out Dennis, love you, man. Yeah, so it was funny because I catch the tail end of you guys having your after parties, and I'm going to my pre-parties. And
I thought you were I thought you had been up.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought you were getting in line, which you were getting in line.
I was.
You were. I mean, it was like 2 a.m. I think you were getting in line. Somewhere around that time, you were getting in line. I thought you were just
staying up all night.
You gonna sleep here? And you're like, what are you talking about? I've been upstairs napping this whole time. I'm like, what? And I when you were talking to me, I'm like, this guy's a freaking genius. He knows exactly what to do.
Well, there's this fellowship of the
party, and he goes and rests, and then gets in line, baby. Yes.
You'll catch the same half dozen people at almost all these shows on the East Coast. We all get there at the same time in the morning. We all talk for 5-6 hours. That's how I met Ryan and Amber Gonzalez. Shout out Ryan and Amber.
Power couple.
Yeah, it's just you meet the most fun people at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, Amber will never beat me in line. She's threatening to, but she'll never do it. So, my spot's safe.
Were you down there when the guy was snoring on the floor?
Oh yeah,
like sprawled out,
yeah,
literally like not curled up in a ball over in a corner. Like he's like in line, sprawled out on his back.
Yep. Hey,
I don't know who it was, but you were great, dude. You were awesome.
But you know what? We got to see that surprise drop. First. When we walk up there that Valley night, it's like, holy crap, and then it's just a domino from there, rippling through the whole Legion's Con, and that was such an amazing thing that they did that for us, and I hope that the pop-up shop and the armory experience. Yeah, Curtis is I'm the perfect roommate. I smell like a freight train, no lie. But hopefully that pop-up shop and the armory experience is going to give us something like the Valiant Knight or the Surprise Skeleton, or I'm hoping that green emerald one we saw at IshCon is the surprise of EVCon. That would be so beautiful with white bones and for the arms and the upper legs and the white skull. That white and green is going to be money.
Nice. Brett, let's talk a little bit about your photography. I know when you were on Facebook, you would post most every day with just a photo you would take of that day. I enjoyed that a lot.
Can you get your ass on Instagram and follow El Tidy? That's where they always went, and Instagram was just gracious enough to dump them on Facebook for me. But yeah, so I still do it. And then really photography is kind of like that quote I said earlier. It's like prostitution. At first I did it to please myself, then I did it to please others, and then finally I did it for money. As a kid, I always had a camera around. Film, obviously. I went through almost every iteration of film cameras as a kid. I even had one that was just basically a little plastic thing that clipped on a 110 roll that was no bigger than 2 fingers. You know, all said and done, it's spy camera. And so I was taking pictures of everything. We'd go on family trips. I'd be taking pictures. You know, I'd go out, randomly take pictures, and you know, it just was something I loved to do, but it lacked that instant feedback and that gratification. It was a process. You take the pictures, you send them off, you get them back. 90% of them are crap. So it wasn't, you know, anything that was ever a hobby per se. Just something I enjoyed doing, even though, you know, the results weren't always the best. But, you know, much like toys, photography took a backseat for quite a while. And then I was visiting some college friends out in West Hollywood, and one of them had a new Canon digital camera. All right, well, what's this all about? So I played with his for a day or so, and then I went out and bought myself a Canon Digital Rebel and really started opening up doors. I had that instant feedback. I was learning. I was absorbing. I was soaking up whatever I could and wanting. You want to talk about a hobby that's expensive? Legions? No. Photography. It's stupid expensive. And you know, I was loving it more and more, and I started to learn that there's art and science to it. And in the 20 years since then, I've improved and I've honed it to where I actually make money on my real photography. You know, shots like this on there. That's, you know, my phone in my office or in one of my dials. I'm like, oh, the lighting looks good. Click, Instagram filter, boom, off it goes. But I shoot lookbooks for designers. I do model portfolios. I've just been fortunate to learn from people and to grow and to work with people that have put me in places and given me opportunities. I've had work in museums, galleries, books, magazines, domestic, international. It's really not something that I was ever. I suck at self-promotion. It was all word of mouth. It was all somebody saw a picture and they wanted that in their portfolio, so they contacted me, or a designer wanted it and they contacted me. I didn't push it out there, but it grew organically. I still don't know how or why. Sometimes I look at it and I go, "This is just a stagnant pool of pond scum. What are you doing?" You know, you know, how many more filters can I throw at this to make it something better? But you know, you just specifically asked about that picture of the day, and during my photography journey, in the early mid 2000s, the big thing in the photography communities were what they were calling 365 projects, where a photographer would shoot, edit, post one picture a day. And in January of 2008, I kicked off my first pick of the day. My first project, 365. It was only supposed to run 365 days and I'd be done. Woo, free. That was 2008, January. We're now in 24. I have consecutively done it. I took 1 year off after my father passed away. I didn't have it in me to do a damn thing, let alone force myself to take a picture and post it. So, a picture a day from 2008 to today, minus 1 year. And sometimes it's something as random as a rock on the ground, or you know, I love the weeks where we have multiple sunsets and sunrises, and I can get, you know, some wonderful colors of the different days. I love springtime when I can take pictures of the flowers. You know, you can actually go through each year and without even, you know, looking at dates, you can kind of tell what time of year it is based off of my pick of the day. And yes, Mike, they're very nature centric because I spend a lot of time, you know, commuting outside, doing things. But you can actually tell by if you follow them when I'm traveling, because it'll be like middle of the winter. How has he got pictures of flowers? or you know, there's a palm tree. Where are you? So and going to all these different conventions gives me a unique area to look at too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through here to
So in during two of those 365 years, we had our daughters, and in addition to the pick of the day, I did a daughter pick of the day for their first entire year. So I have my daughters, both of them, captured from birth to their first birthday. So that's going to be something I think that they'll like to see when they're older.
Crazy.
Something my wife likes to look back at too. Oh, that Lego. This artist has this wonderful art exhibit that travels, and he does sculptures out of Lego.
That's
It's the most insane stuff. It's just mind-boggling.
like I'm like, dude, that is like that's really cool.
That is cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia right now. If anybody's interested, that was in Chicago when I took that.
so, Brett, how hot is it in Pennsylvania today? Because it's balls hot here, man.
I would
It's hot.
say I think my car said 89 on the drive home.
Yeah, that's about us too. 92, maybe something like that.
I think it was
Um,
low 90s today.
that'll be coming our way tomorrow.
Yeah.
We lagged you guys by about a week.
Yeah.
Some of my Star Wars dials, you can actually watch my phases on here, guys. You're going back to where the Lego, the Star Wars, the GI Joe. You're seeing the progression right there in real time.
I like it though.
Even a stormtrooper photographer, never give a stormtrooper.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there a
camera.
date on here? Okay, this says September 21st or September 19th to 21.
So, are you a big Stormtrooper fan?
I like the Empire. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
I
boom,
mean,
boom, 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 boom.
the rebels are fine as target practice. It's just like knights versus skeletons. Knights are just meat sacks waiting to become skeletons.
Oh, I like you, buddy.
Mike. Mike's like, knight him again, double, triple knight him again.
We got
Oh, jeez. So a little heart tug moment. That person, that Stephanie, that commented there. That Stephanie that commented there. That was my sister, and she passed away 3 months after she liked that picture. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I love this picture.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because Sabine in the cartoon was known to be a graffiti artist, and I was testing out stencils on stuff, and I'm like, what the hell, why not?
So you did that?
Yeah. I made the dials. I did the spray paint.
That's great.
One of these days, I'll show you my Star Wars dial walls, and that's what pushed me into the way I display my Legions too. It's because it's very similar to the way I display all my Star Wars.
Now hold on a minute.
That was good for me.
Curtis, close your ears. Did you airbrush that?
Rattle can. I'm very great with a rattle can.
Curtis, earmuffs off. There was no airbrush involved, but yeah. Well, you did great, dude.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Killed it. Killed it. Yeah, these are great.
But if you want to see the nature stuff, you have to go to my main account. Click on my name, and there's a link to my main account.
Click on this.
I guess I shouldn't even say my main account. Yeah, go to the profile. However you get there.
Brett, these Black Series figures, or these three?
They're Black Series. See where it says El Tidy there, Brad, in the middle, up over to the right a little bit and down, to the right and down. Not there, a little bit more to the right.
Here.
No,
here.
Where that? Click there.
Yes.
And that's my beautiful mug right there. In case nobody has ever seen my. Wait, you're looking at it right now.
Oh, that's your beautiful mug right here.
Yeah,
it is you.
So Mike, 6 inch. My hands got bigger. The 6 inch figure, I like it. The scale, 3 3/4 was great when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. But I like them. I like the thick. Unfortunately, purple. Unfortunately, you can't get as many purple cone. Yep.
Purple coneflower. You know, I tried to grow one of those. Man, it was a real pain.
Oh God, we can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, I got these little. The seeds are like this little dust speck.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't get it to go. I don't know. Everything else came but that one. No witchcraft here. What? No.
So yeah, Mike. If you're on Instagram, I would love to connect there. I apologize to the whole entire community for just telling Facebook to fuck off, but it is what it is. I hope I can connect with everybody that I'm missing in person at Legion's Con. So.
Well, yeah. Well, at least people know. I mean, if you're not familiar, Brett was on Facebook, and now if you need to get a hold of Brett, you can go to Instagram.
I got an Instagram account, Brett, but I don't know how to log it.
well, Mike, maybe we'll have to just create you a new one.
Yeah, figure that out.
Brett, I am actually shocked that the Instagram worked just now, because I'm like, I just looked it up on the fly, and it usually it wants me to log in, and I'm like, I don't know if I know that password either, and it worked. So yes, we were happy to see these. I love nature as well.
So I got to Brett. I am going to show you a photo that I took.
Let me go back.
When I took this photo, I actually thought about you because it reminds me of photos you would take. But with this cell phone, I took this photo, and
here, let me blow Mike up here.
It is gorgeous. You really can't tell.
The moon and the clouds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not coming out that well there. But
I understand and get the gist of it. And if I was up late enough to see that, I probably would have taken that same picture.
It was crazy. That blue moon, it was bright for a couple days.
Oh, yeah.
You totally go outside and just see everything. It was crazy.
No, it's things like that. You just stop and see, change your perspective. And, that's what the 365 taught me, was to always stop and look and see things differently and change my perspective.
And I've noticed there's times where I look at something and it looks one way, and then if I take a picture of it, then it looks another way. If that makes sense, it's kind of
it does.
Sometimes it enhances it, and sometimes it doesn't.
And then a lot of that is the function of the software and the camera and whatnot.
Yeah.
But still, there's never been a camera that's been able to catch what the human eye sees. And I always thought that would be the coolest thing, if I could catch exactly what the human eye sees. But sometimes what the camera sees is actually better than what the human eye sees. So it's a catch-22. So.
What I was impressed by was there were people that were posting those northern lights. People were getting to see the northern lights, and they were posting pictures of it. And it was supposed to be here in Ohio, and it was.
Yeah.
And I went outside, I didn't see nothing. And there were people that said, I didn't see anything either, but I was taking pictures. And my pictures showed the northern light. Like, you could see it in the picture, but you couldn't, just looking at it, it didn't look like much. So there were a few times where I'm like, man, I wish I would have done that.
But I was out in Vegas with my mom when that was occurring here, and even north of Vegas, they could actually see them. Because once you get like 10 miles outside, it's just, when you look north, it's just blacker than black. And Bowberry biscuits. It kind of reminded me of college when we would do the Northern Lights up in Upper Michigan, and have fun and do mushrooms and stare at the sky.
Nice.
Northern Lights are a treat.
Yes, it is.
These were amazingly different, because 90% of the ones I've ever seen in my life were just the greens and starting to get into the blues. The reds and the purples are a very special treat. And I'm so glad so many people got to see that for the first time in their lives, because we have so much light pollution these days that I remember as a kid, you guys probably do too. you'd step outside in the summertime and you look up the sky and damn, there's the Milky Way staring right back at you.
Yeah, that's funny
Now,
that you said it.
now you go outside and it's like there's what 10, 20 stars.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, funny. You just like it's like a memory unlocked in my brain.
I'm jogging Brad's memory bank.
Inside, it was like terminate.
Well, you know, your brain is like a thimble, and it can only hold so much. So anytime you put something in, you got to take something out. And unfortunately, as we get older, I think our thimbles are getting smaller and smaller. So that's why I have friends, though, to remind me about all the things I did in the past.
Oh, those are great friends.
No, not those.
You barfed in my car.
Aren't you guys glad we didn't have social media and cell phones and whatnot when we were in high school and college?
I'm so glad.
Well, and I grew up in the age where we transitioned from making hot dogs on the stove to the microwave. Where if you wanted to watch a movie, you stayed up on Sunday night and watched NBC.
You scoured the TV guide for weeks in advance, circling and highlighting and writing down and ripping pages out. You know, we are watching this on this day at this time.
Yeah. And suddenly we had VCRs.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow.
Mini series were the biggest treat because they lasted several days. The original V.
Yes.
4 nights, 2 hours each night.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we've established here, Brett, that it's hot as all get out in both Ohio and Pennsylvania. But Brad's going to make it a little hotter for you, my friend. Turn up the heat, buddy. Turn it up. Because you're in the hot seat now.
Ooh. It's getting hot in here.
It's its name because of the question.
Now, I think you're going to particularly like most of the answers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I feel it. So
I'm going to be very predictable because, I mean, I'm very transparent. And I don't know if Brad, if you can, before we answer any questions, if you can pull up one of those pictures.
Oh.
That I sent you in the message.
Oh, I can.
Of just the Legions shows. You know, there's most of the people have seen it, but there's quite a few that probably have not seen it. So this will give a little context to why a lot of my answers are what my answers are.
Because you're a smart man.
And I have to choose to be difficult, you know, sometimes, and you know, purple.
Red,
so
black.
Just the red, Legions.
Black. Yep.
All right. I think there's.
So if they came out with a purple skeleton, I take it you'd be all over that sucker.
I'd buy it.
Nice.
It would go good with the green one, the red one, the blue one.
Let's see. Is this? Am I sharing? Oh wait. Oh, I guess I gotta. There we go.
There you go.
So okay, the next. That's the corner with the trolls and the dark four. That Dude, one hole is waiting for Necronominus.
This one?
That one. Okay. So this picture. This is my main Legions display. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves are not skeletons.
The rest are skellies. Oh, that's beautiful.
Dude, like I like this because it's like I like the scenes. It's like scene after scene after scene after scene.
I've gotten a lot of dialogue from several different people, but I want a big shout out to Would You Kindly Studios on Instagram. Andy has been just a joy to provide me with some of the most amazing pieces that I put in there.
Cool. That's a nice setup.
Wow. It's very nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get back to toasting my ass.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we'll come back. We'll come back to these pictures in a little bit. We'll come back to some of these pictures in a minute because you got a couple
Are
more.
you wearing the flame retardant undies that we sent you in the mail?
Commando.
Yeah. Oh God, Daddy's a beast. Wow.
This
I
ass
didn't
can
have
take the
time to
heat.
ship him, Mike. Sorry, so he's got to go commando on this one.
This ass can take the
Wow.
heat.
He's a beast. Okay, my friend. What is your favorite Legion's faction?
Well, I feel this is
Can
fairly extremely obvious to everybody now. But yes, for all the F and Gs, it's definitely the congregation. 100% unequivocally Necronominus. Absolutely. And why? Why not? Skeletons rule.
Oh my God. We need.
You
We
know,
won't knight him a third time yet, but you're gonna get knighted. I'll do it. Just do it.
Oh, it gets better after this, Mike. It gets better.
Oh my God, Ken! I know his answers already.
What is your favorite Legion's race, and can you explain why?
So I wouldn't necessarily say that a skeleton is a race, but a lot of bios do state race as skeletons. So in their words, my favorite race is definitely skeleton. And I'm looking forward to the Chimera coming with Balula more than I am a lot of the other figures that are coming out because it's a skeleton. Rawr. And why? Let me refer you back to the previous answer. I love skeletons.
Yes.
That's the only why I need it. And that's the beauty of another beautiful thing about this line. What is my favorite? I am the antithesis of Joe Bro Nightboy.
Yes.
He turns everything into a knight. I turn everything into a skeleton.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What race that doesn't exist yet in Legions would you like to be made?
That's a hard one because of what I innately do with most of my legions, and in Treadaway I trust. Whatever he is gonna do, it's gonna surprise us. It's gonna amaze us. I don't know if I have the creative juices that can say this race needs to be made before something like he would already have thought of it 6 years ago. But of things that I would want to see.
Ooh, that's good.
Random effed up skeletal beasts as its own race. There. More
Nice.
Torpiculi.
Okay.
More animal skulls.
More skeleton beasts.
Yeah.
But in the standard bone color, so
Absolutely. I like having one here and there of a different shade if it's necessary. I have 37 of the white skeletons. Shoot me.
Yeah, I saw
But
that.
yes, the standard bone color. I just because I want to make my own effed up skeletal beasts with take his effed up skeletal beasts and just go to town. So yeah, that would be my race.
So we're going to amp it up a little bit here, my friend. What are your 5 favorite Legions figures, and can you explain why?
So these favorite things are kind of hard because we've got everything we have in our hands. We've got everything that we know that's coming. So I'm going to do 5 of each.
Oh, okay.
Told you I'm going to be unique, change things up, and be a little difficult. But
I like it because I think people should pick what their favorite is in hand, and you should have your favorites that you want to.
Yep, exactly. So my number one favorite, and it's not even recency bias, but it is that Skeleton Legion Builder 2. I don't care what color it would have come in. It is just the perfect thing. I mean, I just threw a couple against the wall and cocked a head and wrapped a hand, and it was like, oh, these guys are so much fun. I turned them into YMCA. Oh my God, these guys are so much fun. I've just been randomly putting things on their heads. Oh, it's a brand new figure. It's perfect. and it has everything that we've come to know and love. And it just, if this isn't on a dozen best figures of the year list, then something's wrong.
Yeah, I think
so that's it. That's number one. Absolutely. It's fun to stay at the line.
the only thing that's going to hurt the Skeleton Legion Builder 2 in that regard
Maxilius, because of the fused eye sockets.
Wave comes out before the end of the year.
I know. Yeah, you and I were hoping that it would be out now so that we would be able to talk about it. But you know what? They gave us this guy instead. I think they knew that we wanted to talk about skeletons and Necronominus wasn't going to be here and that we needed something to talk about, Mike. You know, Jeremy's sneaky like that. I like to think that Jeremy knows that our love for skeletons runs deep. So with that, you know, my number 2 favorite, which was my number 1 favorite until the Legion Builder, Brother Mandibulus.
Oh, nice.
You know, Broman, he's got 2 of my favorite Legions parts in that tunic and tabard. That combination is so just classic, and it looks so good in so many multiple ways. And you know, he's got the skirt which dresses it out a little bit. That helmet, the one armored arm and the one bone arm. Just, you know, he's perfect. Is he getting him? Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just got it's the colors. I have a thing for red, black, and white. And those colors just, especially the way they alternated on him, and just it's simple, but it's so incredible. And that's another thing with this line. I mean, you take my next favorite one, Scapular, and it's 90% that figure with a couple of different things.
You mean the son of a bitch
And
right
it's
here?
that son of a bitch right there. He has the most perfect head. He's got the 2 most perfect parts of the tunic and the tabard. Just, I want those combinations, like that Lego you saw of the rainbow of colors. I want that done in Legion.
Yeah.
With scapular helmet. Yep. Yeah.
Look.
Just perfect. Just perfect. So my number 4, and I'm sorry that I'm doing this to you, Walter, but you know, Malleus is number 4. He's awesome. He's just, you know, he's just that screaming double battle axe wielding motherfucker that you don't want to see coming your way. He's just gonna start swinging and mowing everything down. He's unhinged. He is a mad. But he's amazing. You know, and it's just a simple change to the armored torso with the cloth tabard is money. And you know, the 5th favorite that I have is a first version Vorgus, but with the unknown one exclusive skull head. Vorgus the skeleton. And
that
the red
head.
It matches Vorgus's original armor almost 100%. You wouldn't know that it was not intentionally done.
Okay.
You would look at that with that skull on there. Mike, you need to do that ASAP.
I did not realize that.
It even works on the Vorgus 2, but the Vorgus 1 more so. But the unknown one exclusive head.
Nice. And I got plenty of those. Now I'm going to throw something out at you, talking about the unknown one. Mm-hmm. If you take his wings and put them on Gorthok, they're pretty badass.
Yeah, I have extras.
Yes. And we got Gorthok coming out.
But my Gorthok is going to have a skeleton torso and bone arms and bone legs and an orc skull.
Yeah.
But you know what? For you, in your honor, I'll put bone wings on him.
Nice.
And you can have the before he runs into Necronomicus, and I will have the after.
Nice. Nice.
So-
So those are your top 5.
That I have now. The top 5 upcoming, I can get through these pretty quick. You know, they're gonna be. You're all gonna go. Yep. No, I saw that coming a mile away. So Spicula is the first. Just the options we're getting. We're getting dwarf thighs and bones. That enough right there is making my day, because now I can make skeleton dwarfs. The next thing I'm looking forward to is not necessarily a figure per se. Some people would call it an accessory, but it's the Chimera. It's beautiful. It's Chimera. I need a dozen of those little doggies running around every display. Everybody's gonna get one. I'm gonna be Oprah giving out chimeras to every shelf. You get one. You get one. You get 2. And then the Raider, because it's more naked skeleton, and it's got a standard hips versus a naked pelvis. So we've got a full naked body. We've got a naked rib cage. We've got 2 rib cages that have armor attached to them. Mike, we're going to be swimming in amazing things that we can just. I can't wait to see all the wicked, crazy, creepy things that people are going to be making. And then Necronomicus. I can't have a list without my homie Necro. He's going to be just one big badass. Not a lot of reuse for pop and flops and other stuff, but I got a couple extras just to throw fart around with. But then after that, it's Maxilius, because I need that fused eye socket skull. I need that fully dressed harvester. I need a Grim Reaper, although I might put a white skeleton in it. I'm not sure yet. And I need more naked skeleton bucks to hang on my dial wall. I've got a bunch of shackles that I'm going to be hanging naked skeletons from every corner of every dial.
For my Grim Reaper, I'm going to use the Skeleton Legion Builder 2.
Kind of leaning that way.
With the Maxilius soft goods and, of course, Sight. Yeah.
That white just might give it a little extra pop.
Now,
for a Grim Reaper. Now, I do have 2 honorable mentions, and these are also no surprise. Conibus and Thrasis.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But, Brett, you forgot one.
Which one?
From Rising Suns.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's not. He's top 10. He's not top 8. Well, we'll give him top 8.
Okay.
Now
we'll give him top 8. And I can't wait for that metal mask. That's going to be bad. The fully cloaked one with the metal mask, I really can't wait for that one.
I can't.
The classic scapular. I just love classic scapular so much.
I challenge you now, Brett. You're going to need a skeleton broder.
Oh, it's already his plan.
It's already planned. Skeleton broder, huge tits. Just yes.
You do understand that that can't happen with a skeleton.
Well, okay.
Like physically impossible. But we can, everybody goes, but the female skeleton has boobs. I'm like, well, that was because it was a lady beforehand, and the armor was fitted for that, and then it all rotted away.
Underneath.
So you know what? I'll take my broder and give it a skeleton soldier female torso. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Skeleton torso, but with the pauldrons. He has to have the pauldrons.
Oh, it's gonna have the titty pauldrons. No.
Okay, that's all.
That's done. The first time I saw those, I'm like, all I saw was Madonna from like
a lot of people say they're like, wow. Dude, one guy, he was, I don't know who he was, but he was on the Cabal. He's like, can't buy that figure. Just looks like Madonna's boobs, or said something like that. And I'm like, bro, really?
Pauldrons off.
Watch my figure be like the Otho. No one's gonna buy him. He's gonna be
$1,000 in 10 years.
And then like 5 years down the road, they're gonna be like, man, I want me a titty pauldron broder. And they'll be like, man, can't get that, bro.
Brad's gonna have 20 cases in his basement, holding out, hoping he can retire in 5 years.
600.
That's 600.
I know what you need, bro. Get it, bro?
Durf.
Female skeletons have special abilities. Oh my god, skeleton teeth.
Definitely.
I like that.
So what, Brett, now on the other end of the spectrum, we want your 3 least favorite Legions figures and why.
Hey, listen, you guys are hitting me with these tricky questions because, I can take any figure and turn it into something I love. Give it bones. I can take the worst head sculpt, slap a skull on it. So I really, honestly, though, I don't have a least favorite. I definitely skew one way, but I can see the value and the art in all of them. So, people will say, well, this one's my least favorite. I'm like, well, that's a very subjective thing. I can't find fault in any of them. And, if I sound like a shill, so be it. But, I'm not going to, there's for every all-in I bought, I have a running list, and I have big red X's through the ones that I'm going to be selling off or trading. I've already traded off from upcoming wave. And it's not because it's a least favorite. It's just because where am I going to put it in my collection? It doesn't fit. So, I hate saying least because there's in this line nope. So I'm going to pass on least favorite.
Least favorite passing on.
Yep.
Now, well, here. So would you consider yourself a completionist? From like, so not do you have to go back and get the rest of them, but like from here on.
I turned Otho into a skeleton, Brad.
Damn you! Damn you! Shame.
Yeah. He's next to the
you're
Gideon and
Ignatius.
Ignatius.
There's a head for sale.
Why is that the first thing that comes to everybody's mind? The first thing everybody. So wait a minute.
That means Otho's head is sitting somewhere in Brett's fodder bins. Indubitably.
No comment.
If the Horseman would make a tribute figure in your honor, using existing parts, what would that figure look like?
I'm going to be a little self-aggrandizing right now, but they already did the tribute figure to me. They just don't know it.
Oh.
It's the Skeleton Legion Builder 2.
Oh, damn.
It's again, it is.
Yeah, but you got the color wrong. It's the Skeleton Legion Builder 2 in purple.
Purple.
I was about to say it's white, right? It's pasty, right?
I'm white. I'm pasty. The back of our heads look very similar.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I would want that honor. I don't know.
How about it's gonna need glasses. So just Skeleton Legion Builder 2 with a set of glasses.
There you go.
They could do that. They could do
a purple shirt, a purple gang shirt, and then glasses, and then
a miniature one. I think we can make that
happen.
We can make that happen.
We can make that happen.
The most
like Jordan, make it happen. Look, Jordan. Make it happen.
The most important hot seat question. Here we go.
No, Michael.
Which tribute figure is your favorite? Broder of Bjorngar or Mir Caspar / Scapular 2, the Crypt Breaker?
I'm going to surprise everybody and say Titty Pauldrons for the win.
What?
Just kidding. Scappy Slap.
Oh damn you, Crown!
I built him up and dropped him. I sank you low and then brought you up.
Crom laughs at your 4-win skeletons.
Yes. But they're that's pretty cool, Brad. That they did that, and watching you two up on stage last year, that was pretty special to see. Mike, you just being, it was, it overwhelmed a lot of people to see you and watch you realize that, and just the complete. I don't even know if you knew your name at that moment.
It was
You were just,
very, I was in shock. So it was very surreal. I would say I didn't know what to say.
You looked shell shocked.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, obviously, it's my favorite character, and for them to put me or my name in the lore of that character is just phenomenal. No words, especially when this is my hobby.
Yeah.
We were at StatueCon and somebody was asking me about it, and I'm talking about it, and I was like getting teary-eyed. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. It gets me. It gets me emotional every time talking about it. I'm like, it's just the way it is.
Well, you see, there was a dichotomy in the two of you up there. Brad's up there like he just opened the Christmas present he'd been dreaming of for his life, and his eyes were just so wide, and he just had this smile like, oh my God, and then Mike's over there just like stunned silent, just you can see a small little quiver, and you can tell he wanted to say something, but it just couldn't. Or Brad's like, but it was.
Well, I knew what it meant.
Fun.
I mean, it was like, we just got immortalized, I guess, into the lore, into the community. I was like, it was really kind of cool. It was like, well, I always be there. I'm like, I can be dead tomorrow, and like I'm gonna always have a figure. Like
you're gonna live on.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
another amazing thing about the studio is what other freaking company honors their community.
Oh, no doubt.
Not only for the stuff they give us, but for the stuff they do and the places they go, and and just they embrace so much about the community and honoring the community.
You would never get that from any of the big companies whatsoever.
No.
The only ones you would get that from are the independents, like Matt Rodriguez, the other indies that are coming up. That
absolutely.
I mean, they use the Horsemen to help develop their stuff. So why wouldn't they then embrace what they do when it comes to that?
Well, that's the other thing. They branch out so wide and have touched so many different things, and it's a testament to who they are as actual people as well. They're so approachable. They're so down to earth. They're so fun. I mean, you see these other majors that do their live streams, and it's just like, I'm reading from a script, haha. Entertainment property, haha. We designed this, haha. No.
Not like
So
that.
it's a breath of fresh air to actually see. And like they've said, they just want to make toys that they want to play with. And that's kind of like me with my photography. I did it for me, and then people started enjoying it, and then people started giving me money for it. It's like, oh, they design toys because they love toys, and people are like, hey, can you design this toy for me? And they're like, oh, we can make money at this and enjoy it. So the old saying is, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I think those guys have it.
Oh,
they do. So hats off to the entire studio and the team that they've created, and the fan community that they've created, and the people that they've elevated along the way.
Nice. Well, now we're gonna pull up the pics of your Legion's collection, your AKA Legion's Lair. And Brad, you a preview of those.
To the Boneyard.
Yes. The Boneyard. If you can pull those up for me, my friend.
Let's go. Did it pop up? Oh, I gotta share it. Okay, so I guess
that hidden devil. So, I forgot to mention, I do have the gargoyles. In college, I used to love coming back. That show was on at 4:30, and we would come back from class and we'd entertain ourselves for 10 minutes and then watch gargoyles. and there's a little section of predators there and aliens. That Geiger stuff really spoke to me too. Now you can see all those holes there. That's waiting for the cosmic. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. So I've got everything waiting and ready to go.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, your shelving looks great. It looks proportioned. The lighting looks good.
It's nice and tidy. Ooh, see what I did there?
It's nice and tidy. I do see some crash box. You got some cobblestone down there.
Love my crash box. Chris and Kelly, they've been great to me. The rock things, fish tank, aquarium stuff is going to make great Thraxan.
Oh yes. What's this up here at the top? Up here in the top shelf.
Those are the empty boxes for my Super 7 Nightmare Before Christmas. Love Tim Burton. Okay. Love Tim Burton.
Nice.
Yeah, ignore that top corner there. That's nothing to see there. Move along. And down in the bottom right there, that's my figure Obscura.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, with the cobble, you got the
yep.
cobblestone.
And behind it is the white skate text signed by the entire studio. I managed to get
back here.
Yeah, and I got all the signatures but one at Intern last year, and I had to wait for a surprise visit by Mr. Cornboy himself at ToyCon New Jersey earlier this year.
Got you.
And I got him to sign it that day. That was awesome to see him. It was awesome to collect them all.
Yeah, Cornboy's cool, and I'm so glad that he's feeling better and possibly get at the show this year.
Yeah. And that's all the main legions. I have a couple dwarf shelves. I have an orc shelf. I have a goblin shelf. Something about the green things, I go back to watching the 1970s Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, and I like the goblins and the orcs, top spot. So, but you got my Templars down there. They're all skeletons.
So all your Templars down there are skeletons.
Yep. So if you look at the shelves, there's a flock. There's each of the different factions are on shelves, but they're all skeletal versions of the characters.
Gotcha.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get more custom painted heads from the different customizers in the community to vary up the skulls, because they're all standard skulls for the most part. So I got Jesse to paint me the Wendigo skull to match Malleus Bone, so I could slap it on my Silverhorn Sentry. And every time I go to a show, I'll pick up more. Like Dirk had some at IshCon, and anytime that they have new, unique ones that I don't have, I'm grabbing them so I can vary up the skeleton just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the dios in here are crisp. They're real clean. I like that clean, crisp look.
And those holes, the one is going to be where I'm going to put what I'm calling the beasts of Necronominus. It's going to be all my Trapiculi and Trapiculi fig barfs are going to be going in that hole. Going to be a dungeon.
Here too.
Yep, and that's where eventually I'm going to put my dead angels. When Joe Bro the angel comes out, Joe Bro going to die.
Yeah.
Joe Bro. See you later, bro. But
awesome. So nice, very nice setup.
And those D20 wolves, man, they're so
down here.
No, and each one has a custom skeleton rider.
Nice. You got some grass.
Yep, and right above it is the start of my skeleton dwarfs. I started with a Jorund. Oh, and did you know that the skeleton heads of the Equidrons look really great on regular horses with a skeleton rider?
I've seen people do that. Yes,
it's badass.
Yes,
but I just love all the colors of the different the figures, but yet they're all the different factions. So there's cohesion, but there's
I see you got the purple gang light up here.
Yeah, so that's where my Furious 4 and my Unknown one and my Cody Cat are, and that's
Gotcha.
a portal to hell where they're summoning, But as soon as Clavian comes out, I'm replacing a lot of their,
With Clavian's head, yeah.
and the red bones in place of the arms and the legs, because I really need the Furious 4 really needs to die and become skeletons. If I could have a red orc skull, yay. If I could have a Minotaur skull, please. If the 4-H gods are listening, give us a Minotaur skull, give us a Jaguilian skull in the next batch of skulls head packs. The race exists in Mythos. They've had to have died somewhere along the lines. So the little corner ones there, that's where I decided to put the trolls in the dark floor. So that the one empty spot is where Necro and Cannabis are going to go. And then some Jimmy Horovec's Dios on the bottom. Jimmy, wow.
So nice. So nice.
Dude, those are great.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get in there and turn on all the lights and just sit there and stare.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll start rearranging them.
The little Templar coffin down here.
Mm-hmm. There's a dead Sir Owain in there.
Oh, nice.
Of course there is. If Sir Owain's watching, I'm sorry.
Yeah, hell, there's a dead Delphina in there somewhere too.
Oh wow.
Oh, Delphina.
No one is safe, Brad. No one.
Oh, Brodar is doomed. Brodar. Hey, if you take Brodar's titty pauldrons and put them on the Wave, I bet you that'd be badass.
Yeah.
Oh,
is there one more? Oh yeah.
That's the pano of my little happy place. So you can actually see the whole. There's a little mess in places, and I didn't have the lights on the Plunderlings. I hadn't charged them. But that one wall is all my GI Joe and all my Plunderlings.
Oh, over here I
so
see.
You can see the his tank, yeah. Again, the GI Joe really did something when I saw those classified. I'm like, I had to have it because it reminded me so much of, we'd save up and go to KB or go to Toys R Us and come home with a couple of figures, and we were just in heaven and brought that back.
Heck yeah. You know what? I someone's been talking about there might be a classified headquarters down the road here.
Oh God.
But I don't know what.
So what you don't see in that room is where I'm standing. There's actually 2 2x2 calyx cubes that make a 3 foot tall, 3 foot wide, 3 foot square table. And if they did that, I guess that's where it would go. Although that was going to be for a dragon. How do you feel about a dragon?
Well, I think we're going to get one in a couple months.
I mean, well, we'll probably do a pre-order for one. And we've said this on the show before, wouldn't it be great if the dragon was done and it was for sale at Legion's Con, like the Valiant Knight? Like,
only if it was a skeleton like Cannabis.
Like,
that would be cool.
Like, what if they did it like this? What if they said, we go to G-Con, we don't get the dragon, and everybody's like, oh, no dragon for G-Con, and then we show up the next day, and it's like, here's your dragon for sale, and everybody's like,
it's part of the armory experience or whatever.
Yeah, I think
people are walking out with their dragons like, oh my God, I need it.
I think the dragon will be 4-legged. It will have, of course, the wings. It will be red and black. I would say. I would love to see them do an alternate Nate Barch art head, which, let's see here. Let's see.
You guys remember the '80s cartoon?
Right there, that
The
head.
D&D cartoon from the '80s where the kids on the roller coaster go into the D&D world. Do you remember
Yes.
that cartoon?
Yeah.
And the dragon in there, Tiamat, the big 5-headed red dragon.
Yep.
Super 7 just put one of those out, and I'm like, ooh.
It's like 300, isn't it?
Yeah, so if that one is 300, imagine what one that's fully articulated, is swappable. I'm scared. Gentlemen, I am legitimately scared because I'm going to buy it, whatever it is.
Well,
Same
but
here.
we can say this, though. We can say that Super 7 may have some of their stuff maybe overpriced.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that, but you know, even if it intrinsically it was
You could
200,
very well get a $300 dragon, and I think it would blow that one away. You know,
oh,
I just-
absolutely. I mean, the sculpt alone is going to be
Yeah.
you know different, but they're beholden to a cartoon in the '80s, whereas we're beholden to a mad genius's mind on unlimited creativity.
I just
You know,
don't
have you watched him do a sculpting demo at Treadaway?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah,
where he's like, "What do we do? This and do this and do this," and it's like a little bit of this. We'll stretch this. Ooh, that was an accident, but that looks good.
G's
Oh,
already
I
asking.
I think you'll get a green one too at some point.
Or it's just an open pre-order for 3 months for whatever color. You know, here's 8 different colors you can pick. And it's a 3-month open pre-order. You know, and you know, all we ask is that we make, you know, well, because everything they do, minus joint discs, is injected in a white plastic. Everything is fully painted except for joint discs. So they wouldn't have to do secondary tooling for anything. They wouldn't have to do secondary raw material for anything. So if they say, you know, you can have one of 8 different colors, and all we need is, you know, 2,000 people to back it, and like almost like their own miniature Kickstarter, to get the tooling paid for, and you can pick. Some people will order one of every color, even if it's a $500
Yes.
dragon.
So I'm going to ask you this: do you think it's possible that there could be a $500 dragon?
I think it's going to have to be close.
Yeah. If it's a fully realized 3-foot long, you know, full bodied, 4-limbed, 2-winged, big ass, you know, what was that Sean Connery dragon movie of that style? Yeah, easily it could hit 500. If it was a House of the Dragons, Game of Thrones, Wyvern type, I think 300 would be a closer target, only because that extra stability, extra front leg, extra beef of those big bodied dragons versus the slender wormish. I do like the House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones dragon, but that scene where those 2 were on the beach and the little tiny little people, give me those dragons, and give me a skeleton version too, and I will pay you $500 for each. I don't care. Just do it. Do it.
So you know, down the road you're going to be at a Legion's Con and there'll be dragons out, and someone's going to be like, "Look, I 3D printed this skeleton dragon head," and you're going to be like, "Oh."
It'll be a proud centerpiece in one of my displays, much like in House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. They had that black skull on that pedestal that everybody went and saw. Yes, absolutely. Give it to me.
I want a black dragon with the white hand of Sauron on like on the face, just like yeah, or a green one with the white hand.
No, it's going to be red, and it's going to be with Rhaegar too.
I think for sure we're gonna get Otho version 2.
Yeah.
Come November. in this. So I don't
It
know
looked
how
good in the skull.
Wishes. Look, make your
Give me a
wishes.
brute scale skeleton, please. Give me an ogre scale skeleton, please.
brute scale would be awesome. An ogre skeleton, awesome.
We have the head.
They missed their
we do have that.
opportunity because last year they gave us, or well, 2 years ago they gave us an ogre scale knight.
Yeah.
They could have given us an ogre scale skeleton. It would have been
We got a black knight and a white knight in the ogre scale, but we did get the ogre head, the ogre skull. So and I understand that a full body. We're lucky we're getting the skeleton bodies we're getting on the figures and a horse. Holy crap! We're getting a skeleton horse. It's they're never going to be able to reuse 90% of that tooling, but they gave it to us.
So let me ask you this. Sir Uzak comes with the ogre skull.
Going on Baradoc.
Baradoc, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm not aware. Exactly. God, you're It's going right on Baradoc.
As soon as possible. Can't have to do
ogre. Yes. Yes, female ogre would be cool. Right? Then they wouldn't fall over.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. That was my Back to the Future dad, time to change that oil dad impression. Baradoc is so metal. I know he's like the bad version of Sir Uzak. I love both of them. But yeah, Baradoc.
I like how they came out with Sir Uzak and how he talks. Me, ooh,
yes.
Uzak.
I love when he reads those stories.
Do you have time to hang out a little bit and answer questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody in the feed?
I got a few more.
Question.
This is the time for questions.
What's your favorite cartoon?
Like growing up, college years, or current?
I don't know. Give us both.
One growing up that I really think wasn't appreciated as much as it really should have been was Thundar the Barbarian.
Okay.
And it was unique. It combined that post-apocalyptic Mad Max vibe with the weird aliens and Ukula the Mock. You need to read that intro, Brad, in your voice. That would make my day. In college, it was definitely Gargoyles. Gargoyles and Batman, the Batman the Animated Series. From 4 to 5, we never had classes and just we watched a lot of cartoons in college. Modern
I watched it later as well.
Yeah. Modern, Archer. Archer was a pleasure to watch. I could listen to H. John Benjamin, do any shit. He does a freaking commercial with pigeons, and I'm enraptured because I just like listening to him. He does those Arby's, we've got meat commercials. I'm like, tell me more. But just Archer, great cartoon. Bob's Burgers, also.
Bob's Burgers, yeah.
Also, always. That is on. If I turned on my TV right now, chances are, Jordan, it would say continue watching Bob's Burgers because that's one of the last things I usually watch when it's time to put on cartoons at night.
I like the one chick's voice on Bob's Burgers.
The little girl.
She's the comedian. I can't think of her name.
The one in the pink ears or the older daughter?
Yeah, the one.
Yes. She's been in so many things. Yeah.
She was on that one show. She's real cute.
Yeah. She's got that round, cute face. Yeah.
Tina.
Yes, but and the one show about the guy who was the last man on Earth.
Yes,
but really wasn't.
Show. Yes. Yeah, she was on that. That was a good show. I liked it.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but yes, her.
I'm like, come on, people, what's the name?
Flight of the Conchords.
Louise.
Jordan, my sister's husband was Scottish, and he when he said Brett, he said it like Jermaine did to Brit. He always
Brit.
Brit. I'm like,
Is it
no,
Brit?
no, Paul, it's Brett. He's like, no, Brit. I'm like, whatever.
Look at the brains on Brett. Wasn't that what he said in Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
I think it was
the
Brett.
brains on Brett.
Look at the brains.
It was. Say what again?
Yeah, say what again?
Yeah.
Hey, there's Greg.
Big Greg.
Big Greg in the house. We were just talking about you, Greg.
Yes, we were. Nothing good, I promise you. I can't wait to hang out with Greg after all the festivities at Legion's Con again. The fire pit was a wonderful thing. The hotel, that venue, I couldn't have asked for a better place to have my first Legion Con experience.
Oh, no doubt.
I hear about the closet at the PAL. I hear about the horrors of the La Quinta.
Elevator.
And we have this amazing, almost resortish type place, and this year all to ourselves.
Well, you got to think Legion's Con 21. It was at a side of a bingo. It was in a bingo hall next to the side of
the PAL, the Police Athletic League.
The police. So it was next to there. Then the next.
Now, are you confused about police athletic leagues as I was as a Midwesterner moving to the East Coast?
Yeah, I had no idea what. I walked in. I'm like, do they really need 2 basketball courts?
What the fuck's this shit? We call these YMCA's back home.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I mean, that's kind of like how I got it a little bit.
But yeah, I spent most of my life in the Midwest, and Mike, you and I cannot be friends for one day a year. I'm sorry. Go Blue.
Go Bucks.
Go
back.
So anyway, I grew up in the Detroit area. I went to Michigan. I lived in Wisconsin for 20 years, and now I'm on the East Coast. So,
hey, the Bucks went like over 20 years of beating the Blue, and we've lost the last 3. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it.
Everything ebbs and flows. It just is.
So as I said, it comes and goes. Yeah. Just like I watched the Browns lose for years, and then now all of a sudden.
Well, that's just in perpetuity. But you know what? I watched the Lions lose for the bulk of my life, and then last year, get out of it.
I was also a Lions fan because of Barry Sanders, so I feel your pain. Yeah.
God, that was one of the most wasted things of NFL history. It was painful living there to watch.
I think the Lions have a good shot of winning it this year.
That would make a lot of people happy.
Yeah, they could have.
I would love to see that. Of course, the Browns won't even make the playoffs.
Probably not.
Of all the franchises and all the cities, I think that Cleveland and Detroit could probably use the boost.
Is Marcellus
for the people?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Was it look at the brains on Brett? Maybe it was look at the brains on Brad. I don't know. I thought it was Brett.
It's either Brad or Brett.
It's either one. We'll use both of them at any given time.
But look at the brains on you. There.
Yeah. Look at the brains on Brad.
Yeah. And it's a huge Tarantino fan. Love the Tarantino.
Milwaukee Bucks, so good. Yeah. Can somebody do a wellness check on Mike? He looks like he's out. Mike is out. That Mike.
Yeah. And I grew up in Detroit during the Bad Boys era, so I got to see all that nastiness too.
You had a couple back-to-backs there.
Yeah. But the Lions.
It's bad. Okay, it's bad.
I don't know if you remember all those times when all the Lions fans and all the Cleveland fans would all wear the bags over their heads at the games.
Yep.
Well, here's a good one. You want to know what they did at the Browns game? I can't remember what pick that the Browns picked, but whatever it was, we picked a bad number 1 pick one year, and somebody bought that person's jersey thinking they were going to be something, and then they just put duct tape over that and said this was a number 3 pick or something. Number 1 pick. He said we could have had so and so. Yeah. Or they take Tim Couch jerseys and they write all the starting quarterbacks from '99 all the way down the jersey. Yeah, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Come back to us, Pilar. Look, we need you. We need you. All right. So did Mike ask you what was your favorite kid toy line? What was your go-to toy line that you have to play with?
Well, it depends on the era. Like I said, I started 4 or 5 years old with Lego, and 7, 8 years old it was the Star Wars action figures. 12 years old and on was the G.I. Joe. Never was into Masters of the Universe or. Back then I was definitely heavy into the Cobra, just like I would be in the Empire and Star Wars. However, I took Snake Eyes and put a Cobra logo from one of the vehicles, one of the stickers, on him because I'm like, no, this ninja in this all black uniform, no, he's not a good guy. Nope. He's switching. Nope. So he was that was Snake Eyes was my favorite as a kid.
That was like me. I liked Naugahyde, which was one of the dreadnoughts.
Yeah, that was a year or two after I stopped collecting, so I didn't pick him up when they just released him.
He came with a lot of cool stuff. He was actually a muscular figure. He came with like the
Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, he came with like the big muscle Sergeant Slaughter body.
Yeah.
But he had a G.I. Joe with an X on his tattooed on his. And I remember thinking, he's too big and badass to be a bad guy. Like he's a good guy. That's how So I'm like, he's gonna be on the good guy team.
They let us use our imagination back then, and
that's what we did.
You know what? The fans didn't call you out and say, "No, you're wrong." You post today that I changed all my Snake Eyes to Cobras, and you'd be attacked left, right, and center by people saying you can't do that.
Brett, did you change your Storm Shadow to a Joe?
Nope. Oh yeah, nope. It had nothing to do with color.
Okay.
I mean, it just so happened that Snake Eyes was in an all-black uniform. It just looked like a badass mofo. But Storm Shadow was a bad ninja. I don't care what he was wearing.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So, Brett, I know you said you were talking a little bit about Legion's Con this year. And I know you said whatever the horsemen make, you are going to be happy. Is there anything that you are anticipating on seeing at G-Con this year?
No. I
mean, is there anything that you're like, I got besides no Dragon Talk, some other besides Dragon? Is there anything that you're like, I gotta see this, I gotta have that, that needs to be there?
They're not going to give us any more skeletons, so at least I don't think they surprise me. But honestly, I have no.
Now, if you see a figure that's not a skeleton, are you immediate like that figure's awesome and he's becoming a skeleton? Is that basically the recipe?
I have the next three waves all planned out on which normal is getting skelefied, which ones I'm selling, which ones. Yeah, there's a long list of ones that need to be skelefied. Now that I'm getting dwarf thigh bones, and Scally has, standard bone color half wrists or forearms, I guess they are. Because you notice, Mike, the builders and a lot of the new skeletons actually have full bone arms, but Scally and the bone color is going to have the half and the gauntlet, so we'll be able to use armor on some of them now. So.
I'm actually shocked, Brett, that they came out and said Necronominus and Thrasis both are standard bone color.
I did not hear that. Oh, that tickles me. Oh, that I was, and I was okay with going into it thinking that they were going to be slightly unique. But no, that tickles me even more because that just opens up more possibilities.
Yes, absolutely. Pop and swap Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
And
I,
and I
I'm
don't.
I'm a little disappointed that Necronomicus is probably going to take about 2 years to get in our hands, kind of like Poxus did. But the way I see it, take as long as you need to get these figures perfect.
And look at it this way: in that 2 years since you pre-ordered Necronominus, what have you received in the way of figures from Four Horsemen?
Quite a bit.
You know, yes, you may have paid for most of those a year and a half, 2 years before, but you're on this train. You're on a roll now. So you may have bought Necronominus, 2 years ago, but in 6 months or 3 months, you're going to buy a wave, and then Necronominus is going to show up at your door.
Yep.
So look at it that way. You know,
and
as Monty Python said, always look at the bright side of life. You know,
well,
don't look at it as like, oh, I've been waiting forever. I'm like, but look at all the things I've gotten in between. You know, we've gotten since you pre-ordered Necronominus. What have you gotten? All Stars 5. You've gotten reinforcements. You've gotten Poxus. You've gotten all the cosmic stuff if you're into the cosmic stuff. So that's the way I'm trying to look at it, and not dwell on
Figure
Figure
Obscura.
what's going on and all the Figure Obscura. But like you said, take all the time you need. I can't wait.
Yep.
Just take the time, because in the end of the day, it's gonna be perfect, and they are perfectionists. So if there's a reason they're taking more time,
yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. The quality on that thing is amazing. So that leads me to believe that Necronominus wave is going to be badass. And if you look at the Valiant Knight, it's amazing too.
Yep.
So the quality of the Necronominus wave in the All-Star 6 is going to be sweet.
Yeah. I think Necronominus and All-Star 6 is taking them to the next level. Or I should say they're taking it to the next level with those two. There's been a huge evolutionary jump between Poxus and Necronominus.
Yep.
No doubt.
And Poxus was amazingly great in its own.
Yeah, it was. I'm not a big sorcerer wizard.
I wasn't.
Zende looks great with a skull on him.
This is true.
So those little 2.0 wizards that are in Poxus? There's and whatever the Arizak or something. The retailer skeleton, the Viking Fell skeleton in the retailer wave with the 2.0 head. It's got all those magic runes already in it.
Yeah.
Pop those wizard heads off and slap the skeleton on there, Mike.
Yep. You're right.
Slap that rune skull on there, and now you don't even need to change most of the under stuff. Leave it as a 2.0 elf body and give them bone hands and bone feet off of that and a bone head.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh
hey,
yeah.
That's boom enabled for all you listening at home.
Boom. That's what it's about.
Write it down, Jordan. Purple. But yeah, you can. There's no limit to what we can do, Mike. Now that they're giving that, and at first I was kind of iffy about that 2.0 skeleton, and I'm like, why wasn't it another 1.0? I like the big beefy skeletons, but it's growing on me, and it's going to allow me to expand and do things like turn those little 2.0 wizard bodies into skeletons. I'm going to have a Santa Claus. That's a skeleton.
A skeletal
skeleton Santa.
Yes.
Father Christmas.
It's just opening up more options with that cool skull, I think, than just the standard one that we've had with the female.
Nice. Did we miss any questions on the feed? Did we get to all of them?
Yeah, Steph, it is past my bedtime, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stephanie.
Okay, can somebody check on my dude? Well, and you answered my question with what toy lines did you collect it as a little kid, and which ones had the most influence on you? Obviously, that is for sure Star Wars, G.I. Joe,
Lego.
Lego. Remember, hey, Brett, do you remember? You and I are the same age. So we remember when all you had with Lego is you had space, you had town, and you had medieval.
And it was a yellow castle because
yes,
the gray one was too realistic, and they didn't want to be associated with real war.
Yes.
You want to know? So I loved the castle Lego, and we had those little plastic chest armor things that you had to put the stickers on. The horses were brick built. There wasn't even a mold for them. But we would be playing with our Lego, and I would take rose petals off my mom's roses in the garden and pop the head off of the Lego and put the rose petal and pop the head back on to give my little knights capes.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
They didn't have sockets. They didn't have capes.
In
Yeah,
my
I thought Lego had capes, no?
No, not in '78.
Yeah.
Nope, absolutely not.
So I
thought they had plastic capes, but maybe that was later.
It was later on, and they had one that went like this.
Yeah, well, it was like a little like.
But before that, they had the little U-shaped ones that you could put on for a front and back, like a tabard style look, but not a true cape. So I used rose petals.
That's that right there, customizing.
Yeah.
They were naturally born good looking.
I have a Lego section down in my action figure room, and I have a Lego book from when I was younger.
Lego book,
probably early 80s, late 70s. And dude, I love that book. Of course, it follows two characters going through space, through the town, and then medieval times. And it shows you how to make different stuff. But yeah, that's one of the highlights of my Lego collection down.
God bless my grandma for buying me that damn castle. We didn't have a whole lot of expensive Legos, but she bought us that, and I think that castle was like $110 back in the 80s something.
That was the price of a flag.
It was, and I remember I was super young. My brother had to help me build it because I was still like, she brought my brother the airport, which was huge, and then bought me the castle. And my brother still tells the story. He's like, "You weren't even old enough to build it, dude. I had to build everything." And I was like, "But it was awesome." But he let me play with it, obviously. But I still have that. That is one childhood item that I still have.
That's awesome.
It's mixed in with stuff, but it's still there.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hedgehog has a question for all three of us. Hedgehog action. By the way, Carlo, you're awesome, dude.
Looking forward to seeing you, John, in a couple weeks.
How did you guys get so good looking?
Oh yeah,
it's a filter.
First, Brad.
It's a filter.
Well, see, what I do is I wake up every day and I piss excellence. Then I dye my hair white on the side so I look exactly super old because that's what everybody likes. And then I pluck out all the hairs out here in the back. I pluck them all out just so I have the perfect little bald spot. It's amazing. Well, but I do take vitamins. The same one Eric LeBron was taking. Those gummies, yeah. We're not talking about. I mean, we take the edibles.
Well, I gotta tell you, Jonathan, mine is just a facade. I try to put myself around beautiful-looking people like these two gentlemen here. That way, I'm kind of elevated up to their level, even though we know I'm not. And that is my secret.
Shit.
See, when you hang out with super white people, you actually look tan, you know?
Mike is taking my initials to heart.
BS. Yeah. Well, shoot, man, it has been a great show.
Oh yeah, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. And
It was funny when you guys messaged me over the weekend. I went, "Fuck! I thought that was in September."
Yeah. It was
honestly,
it was like,
I knew it was coming. I didn't know when because I didn't write it down, and I didn't want to be that person that says, guys, I totally forgot when we're supposed to do this." And you're like, "Oh, last week, asshole."
no. Well, Mike got scared because he tried to send you the stuff, and of course you weren't on Facebook. We're so used to people make just that's the way. That's
Oh, absolutely. I know.
So we're just
I know.
creatures
I've
of
missed out on a lot of connections. I've missed out on a lot of people.
No, but it's
Um,
just I was like, well, how do we get a hold of them? And then obviously Jesse's like, oh, Instagram. I'm like, oh, am I? And I was already subscribed to you or followed you. So I'm like, oh, I'm already like, what the hell? Like, what the hell's going on? So that made it very easy. And then I got your phone number. So now I have your phone. So now we have a connection so we can talk and BS whenever we want.
call often.
nice.
I'm going to send you so many memes, dude. No.
I think we have a bit of news from Hedgehog here. He says, I hope to see as many people as possible at the Mid-Atlantic meetup on September 8th. So everybody remember.
Retro con.
Yeah.
And JesseCon. First annual JesseCon. Noon.
See, Jesse's girl. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm looking forward to seeing all my con peeps in 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, do we have? Come on, there's 15 people in the chat. Do we have an official number until Legion's Con? Because I haven't looked. What the?
I believe the last
11 weeks.
Yeah, we should be fast approaching 11 weeks, maybe. Somewhere less than 12.
Legion's Con is technically the 9th and the 10th. So we're 30 days there.
We are under 3 months.
61, 62, 63, 45, 66.
Yeah.
Like 74 days, 73 days. Technically less than that because we're going to be there for intern.
Let's just call it in 10 weeks we will actually be able to see each other in person.
Which it sounds like a lot, but it's really not because I feel like summer was just here and now it's.
I feel like we just bought our tickets for Legion's Con.
I'm like, wasn't it just May? Like, I feel like yesterday was May, and I'm like, wow, it's already like end of August. 7 days. Well, for retro, right?
Yeah.
21 days for that must be for JesseCon.
No, JesseCon's the 8th. The week.
Oh no, JesseCon's 8th. So 21 days must be for the other one. RetroCon.
No, RetroCon is JesseCon.
Is JesseCon.
Oh, so RetroCon is JesseCon.
Yeah. So RetroCon is this really huge retro pop culture show in Oaks, PA at the Greater Philadelphia Convention Center. And Wolf King, Lynn and Wolf King and Jesse and Patrick and Nathaniel and Anthony of the Toy Forge. They're all vending at there, and Lynn is running a street team event there as well. So we'll get Greg will show up on Sunday, and Cookie will be there both days, and Best will pop over, and Hedgehog's gonna be streaming live. Last year he ran the line at 5:00 in the morning. You got Amber and Ryan, Raul and Joe and Ben, everybody that's there early. And we're getting a special guest appearance from some North Kakalaka fools. They're going to sneak across the Mason-Dixon line in the middle of the night, and I'm not too sure about that one yet. We'll get back to you on that. Purple. And then that Saturday there's so much going on. Saturday night, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the band Cybertronic Spree, but if you are any way familiar with Transformers movie from 1980, what was that, 6? And the theme song, well, there is a cosplay rock band that dresses up in full Transformer costumes and plays rock shows. look up their version of "Immigrant Song" by Zeppelin on YouTube tomorrow.
Is it like Transformers Guar?
But not metal and blood.
Okay,
But
I
it's the
got
same kind of suits. So
Gotcha.
you
Gotcha.
pull up,
That's
YouTube,
what I meant.
yeah, Cybertronic Spree. So they're
That's
playing
cool.
Saturday night. So Steph is going, Cookie's going, Bill Mancuso's going, a bunch of people are going. One of my best friends from Chicago is coming in for the weekend. He's coming with us. There's the $6 Million Man, the Bionic Woman. They're going to be there. Ralph Malph and Potts and Pepper are going to be there signing autographs. There's going to be a special screening that weekend of the movie The Last Starfighter. You guys remember that one, right? This is the 40th anniversary. Yes, those people. Cybertronic Spree. And they play shows dressed like that. And they never break character.
He says, "I'll be there Sunday. I'll be there."
Wow, we got Soundwave.
And Dirk Nagel, Dirk's Designs are going to be showing up there.
Dak Diggler.
But yeah, if you remember the '84 movie, The Last Starfighter, where that kid playing the video game becomes the savior of humanity out in space, they're having special screenings of it at the neighbor cinema. So it's more than just what like the MuskyCon or IshCon. It's a huge. John, there's still tickets, and Jordan's coming with us, and Van's coming with us. Tickets are still available for Saturday night for Cybertronic. It's awesome. I went last year with my friend from England, who I had never heard about these people, but it was her favorite band, and we went and saw it, and I was hooked. So fun. But that weekend is going to be just a raucous. So much going on. But it's not just focused into Legions. It's across the board. See, they have little hype men. Bumblebee's a hype man. He just goes in. Look at
Rumble was too.
They're doing that in full costume. Yeah.
Damn!
They even have original songs that you would swear are a theme song from an '80s cartoon.
Now I am disappointed, Brett, that they don't have Optimus Prime, but they have Rod or Hot Rod.
Oh, come on, man. Hot Rod is the redheaded stepchild of the Transformers universe.
Yes, he is.
But the only show I've seen of theirs that I was at, actually, somebody in the Optimus Prime cosplay did come through the crowd and up to the stage. So it was it's cool. Such a wild ride, and it's at a freaking bowling alley, guys. How retro is that? Remember, like 5th grade, getting bussed to the roller rinks.
Cybertronic Spree.
Yeah, man, it looks good.
Ravage. Is that one of their songs?
That's one of their original. But like their version of Immigrant Song, I don't know where this chick learned to sing, but wow.
Cool.
I'll check it out.
RC's got some pipes on her.
Nice. Well, in 2 weeks, guys, we got the guest prize wheel, and we're going to talk about all things Motu tribute figures from the Four Horsemen. And thank you.
Hey, Mike. I got a quick one for you on those Motu tribute things.
Yeah.
What do you think I did to Keltis?
Well, Keltis is already a skeleton, and he's purple, so I don't think you did shit to him.
I de-blued Keltis. I took all the blue bones off and put tibius bones in the place of the blue bones, and I popped the head out and put the Walter insert into the scapular thing, so he's no longer the green.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
gotcha. Mm-hmm. Nice. Wow.
Told you, nobody's safe.
If Keltis isn't safe, nobody is, brother. Once again, Brett, thank you so very much.
I really appreciate it, guys, and I'm sorry I'm keeping you up, but I really appreciate this, and And I'm looking forward to seeing you two in 10 weeks. I really am.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the fire pit, the valet. I'm looking forward
all
to
the above.
walking
The
up.
1:30 in the morning paths crossing.
Yeah, you me clocking out and you clocking in. No doubt. No doubt. Awesome. Well, sir, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
And all the fine contestants out there and the people watching later, like and subscribe. We'll get to 500 one day, people. We will.
Yeah.
Ba-ball, ba-ball.